What's going on, you bunch of heathens? Today we are checking out another video from Simple History. This one is called These... Ooh, didn't mean to do that. These US sailors use knives to fight off a German U-boat. Already, it sounds amazing and completely barbaric. I cannot wait. Make sure you check out the original video link down below. And let's jump in.
There are a lot of ways to destroy a submarine. Throwing knives and shooting flares aren't on the list. But that didn't
I wouldn't
stop
expect
the
them to
crew
be.
of one enterprising destroyer from turning a battle on the high seas into something more like a barroom brawl.
Oh wait, this reminds me. Is this the what are they? The video that Fat Electrician did? Like a month or two ago? On the battleship? Or whichever one that was. I wonder if that's what this one's about. Because I vaguely remember something like this.
War,
maybe.
And German U-boats are wreaking havoc on Allied shipping in the Atlantic. With this vital logistic lifeline in danger of being cut off, the Allies are spending tremendous effort on anti-submarine warfare. A large portion of naval forces are being used as escort duty, basically acting like sheepdogs to protect the vulnerable cargo ships against the appropriately named U-boat wolf packs. Some ships are being given a more proactive mission. Entering the story is Task Group 2114, which consists of the flagship escort carrier USS Card and 3 Clemson-class destroyers, the USS Goff, the USS Barry, and the USS Bory. Their mission is simple: patrol the Atlantic, find German U-boats, and make sure they stay underwater permanently. Late October 1943, the task group is patrolling in the North Atlantic. At the same time, a 6-sub wolf pack, which includes...
Wow, I saw that. 2025. Thank you for not... Yeah, here we go. Thank you for not being cringe, despite how much I know YouTube dislikes it. Thank you for not being cringe and changing which flags they're used. It's part of history. The fact that games and whatnot will censor it because nowadays, it's fucking stupid. You're censoring history. I think it's stupid. Thank you for not doing that.
With a resupply sub. The U-405 is a Type 7C, the workhorse of the Kriegsmarine, commanded by experienced skipper, Korvettenkapitän Rolf Heinrich Hauptmann. The Wolfpack is undergoing resupply operations when they're spotted and briefly engaged by aircraft from the USS Card. The Bory is sent to investigate the location and encounter its first U-boat, U-256. After 3 depth charge attacks, the Bory spots an oil slick and presumes the sub has been sunk, although it actually survives and limps back to port. The night of October 31st, 1943, radar on the Bory detects something, and the commander, Lieutenant Charles Hutchins, gives orders to investigate. When the Bory is within 2,800 yards, the radar contact disappears as U-405 submerges. In ever-worsening seas, the destroyer picks up the sub with sonar and engages. A malfunction causes all the depth charges in the racks to fire at once. The resulting blast is intense, and the Bory's stern is...
This is... I cannot remember if this is the same video. It might be, but that is a fucking malfunction doing that. That'd be horrible to fucking see. Like, oh shit, well, there goes all our fucking anti-submarine weapons. Also, another fun fact I learned from Fat Electrician. The only surviving U-boat from World War II is sitting in a museum in Chicago. I love it.
Lifted clear from the water, forcing U-405 to surface. Hutchins orders the searchlight on, and with the sub clearly visible, the guns on the destroyer can open up. No one knows why, but U-405 is unable to dive at that moment.
Yeah, no,
so several crewmen attempt...
I do think this is the same video from Fat Electrician, or the same story being told. I vaguely remember bits of it, but I do think this is the same story. This sounds very familiar.
Guns.
If they ram them, then I'll assume it is.
Before being killed by fire from the Bory's 20mm anti-aircraft guns. At this point, one of the German sailors stands on the conning tower and waves frantically as if trying to surrender. Hutchins gives the order to cease fire. Unfortunately, one of the sailors manning a 4-inch gun has removed his headphones and doesn't hear the command and keeps firing.
Aww,
The German
why didn't you
sailor
take him
is
off?
violently dispatched. U-405 begins evasive maneuvers and leads the Bori on a wild
why would you take
chase,
off your headset?
both sides exchanging gunfire. The weather is steadily worsening, and with more violent swells and decreasing visibility, this becomes less effective than hoped. After a few minutes, Hutchins decides on a new tactic. With all the weaponry he has at his disposal, he tries something straight from the Bronze Age. But first, let's talk about another kind of threat, one that doesn't involve battleships or torpedoes. Here on Simple History, we often discuss the dangers people faced in the past, from wars and revolutions to surveillance states. Today, however, there's a different, modern threat, the quiet trade of your personal data. Right now, your private information, like your home address,
or a
phone
VPN.
number, email, even your relatives' names, might be bought and sold online. And not just by shady scammers or hackers, but by data brokers, insurance companies, and other organizations you've probably never heard of.
I'm betting Delete Me.
That's why
Yep,
we're
I was
partnering with today's sponsor, Delete Me. A few months ago, while researching a video on Cold War surveillance, one of our researchers stumbled into just how widespread modern digital tracking is. Unlike spies of the past who needed trench coats and wiretaps, today's data collectors operate in the open, compiling your personal info into a giant database without you even realizing it. Delete Me steps in to stop that. When you sign up, their privacy experts go...
By the way, who... Does it tell you the narrator? Oh, that's cool. They have fucking further reading on this shit? I didn't know that. That's really fucking cool. Chris Kane, you have an... but here it is. This is what I was looking for. This dude. You have an amazing voice. You have an amazing voice. Just
Go to
saying.
work finding and removing your personal data from those broker sites. You'll get regular reports showing exactly what's been removed, and they keep checking back to make sure it stays gone. For us, that peace of mind is worth it. It's like having your own...
Also, did I see... What did that mean? Auto-dubbed? Oh, languages. Okay. Okay, I thought it was... I thought they said something else.
Agency, but one that works for you. If you want to take control of your privacy and stop data brokers from profiting off your personal info, you can get 20% off Delete Me's consumer plans by going to joindeleteme.com/simplehistory and using the code SimpleHistory at checkout.
If you want to use them, make sure you go to their video and use their code.
Stand by for a ram, he shouts, increasing speed
this is the
to
same
25
story,
knots.
I remember.
The bow of the Bori is pointed right at U-405. Hauptmann orders the sub to turn, but it's too late. Right before contact, however, a large swell lifts the Bori, which then slams down on the U-boat's deck between the stem and the forecastle, locking the ships together. The deck guns on both ships are unable to be elevated or depressed enough to be effective. Fortunately for the Bori, the crew is prepared for exactly this sort of situation. Other than the gun crews
prepared
and
for this
the
shit?
Black Gang, who are the fire control crewmen and engine room sailors, all other hands that can be spared rush to their places, grabbing their Thompson submachine guns, pistols, riot control shotguns, and anything else they can get a hold of, and rush to the port
Time to
side
board
to
a submarine with a
Germans.
shotgun.
There aren't enough small arms to go around, so a bit of creativity is in order. In the middle of the fighting, one of the Bori's sailors sees a German on the U-boat's deck, hurls his knife at him, plunging into his stomach.
Oh, yo, what a fucking great throw.
Near point-blank range, and one Kriegsmarine plummets to a watery end when he's knocked overboard with a thrown 4-inch shell casing.
Damn.
Like the saying goes, if it's stupid, but it works, it ain't stupid.
I love that saying. That is the saying. I love that saying. But also, God, what a shitty way to go when you think about it. Damn. We got rammed. We're going down. We're all going to the top deck to fucking fight. They're shooting at us. We're shooting at them. And then you get knocked in the fucking... You get hit with a 4-inch shell. And you're pushed into the fucking water during this storm. What a shitty way to go out.
After about 10 minutes, both ships are sliding apart from one another. U-405's casualties are catastrophic, with only 14 men of the original 49 still on their feet. The Bori is suffering heavy damage and holes are torn into the hull. The forward engine room is flooding and the crew is working frantically to plug the leaks, working in neck-deep water to keep the ship afloat and the engines running.
Nah, neck deep.
U-405
that's
tries
scary.
to flee again, but is bracketed and hit by another salvo of 4-inch guns. Even in such poor shape, the U-boat has a tighter turning radius than the destroyer and aligns the sub-stern torpedo tubes at the Bori.
Shut off that light.
Comes the order from Hutchins.
Yes, I do remember this part.
Unable
I do remember
to
this
see
part
the
about Fat
destroyer,
Electrician's
Hupman
video.
orders the U-boat to flee. Once they turn away, the searchlight is turned on again, and the firing continues. With no other option, U-405 tries to turn the tables on the Bori and attempts its own ramming attack.
Ooh.
The destroyer launches 3 depth charges and then turns sharply.
Wait, I thought they already launched all their shit.
Bori. After the depth charges, U-405 is dead in the water. With no other choice, Hupman surrenders and his surviving 14 men clamber aboard life rafts. They fire signal flares into the air to mark their position, and the Bori maneuvers to pick up the survivors. Unfortunately, in the distance, answering flares shoot up into the sky. There are no American ships in that direction, so this signal means only one thing: another U-boat is on the way. After sustaining heavy damage and expending so much ordnance,
Wait, I can't
USS
remember
Bori
the
is
end of
in no condition to
this.
take on the rest of the wolf pack. Even worse, the sonar operator hears the distinctive sound of a torpedo heading straight for them. The ship begins evasive maneuvers.
Yeah, I don't remember much. I don't remember much about the Fat Electrician video. I remember vaguely this sounded like it. I don't remember what ends up happening. I'm not sure if the survivors of the U-boat get away, if this goes down and they're all stuck in the water together. I can't remember. But it's really strange. Where are the other boats? Like, they were sent off to investigate something, found 2 of them. I can't remember exactly. I need to go back and rewatch that video.
And witness a torpedo missing them by mere feet. Unfortunately, the zigzag path caused the Bori to run over the life rafts of U-405, killing all aboard. All 49 of the submarine's crew perish in the engagement. The USS Bori escapes without further contact with the enemy, but this isn't the end of its ordeal.
Damn, that
Seawater
sucks.
continues to flood into the ship, and the crews work frantically to keep the ship afloat and under power. They spend the rest of the night doing everything they can, and even resort to dumping the torpedoes, their launchers, the 20mm cannons, extra 4-inch shells, and anything else that can be spared in a desperate attempt to lighten the ship. At 9 a.m. on November 1st, the only remaining turbine stops running, and the Bori is dead in the water. A radio...
I just saw that. Oh, not what I want to hit. What is this flag connected to? It's waving off the wrong thing. It's not connected to anything.
And the USS Card receives it at 11:10 a.m. The USS Goff and USS Barry are dispatched, and the Card launches search planes which spot the Bori. Salvaging the Bori is hopeless, so at around 4:30 p.m.
they did. This one does
ship.
sink.
They climb into the life rafts to transfer to the Goff and the Barry, but the high seas and frigid water cause some of the boats to capsize. 27 men succumb to drowning or hypothermia.
Oh, that sucks.
The USS Bori is then scuttled with depth charges and bombs from the aircraft and slips beneath the waves. During this unusual fight, none of the Bori's men were killed in the engagement. The crew received the Presidential Unit Citation, and the Navy Cross was given to Hutchins and 2 other crewmen. A year after, another destroyer named USS Bori was commissioned, continuing the legacy of one of the more unusual naval encounters of the Second World War.
Yeah, but pretty fucking badass. World War II, how many times do you... I'd be surprised if it happened more than this once. How many other times in World War II did you have a destroyer ram a U-boat and have one of the U-boat men get killed by throwing knife? Or even throwing knife deaths in World War II in the Navy? Or from a thrown knife? How often does that happen? Did that happen? If it happened
Thanks
more than
again,
once, I'd be
Delete Me,
honestly
for sponsoring this
surprised.
video. To get your data removed from the internet, check out Delete Me with our link in the description and get 20% off.
All right. That was a really good video. Make sure you go and check out the original. Give it a like, subscribe to them. If you want to use Delete Me, use their code. Yeah, it was really fucking good. I really enjoyed it. Leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more of me. And until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.